Welcome back to Speaking with Confidence, the podcast that helps you build the soft skills that lead to real results. Communication, storytelling, public speaking, and showing up with confidence in every conversation that counts. I'm Tim Newman, a recovering college professor turned communication coach, and I'm thrilled to guide you on a journey to becoming a powerful communicator. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode. In the most recent episode, I spoke with Harriet Bratton. She was a great guest, and she gave some really good, actionable advice. If you missed that episode, make sure you go back and listen. You won't be sorry. We spoke briefly about how people with ADHD have some challenges when it comes to being powerful communicators. Today, I'm going to give you my top 3 hacks to master communication if you have ADHD. If you don't have ADHD, I'm sure you know someone who does. Please share this episode with them. If you have ADHD, it doesn't make you a bad communicator. It just means you need different tools. Most people with ADHD are told, just focus harder. But that advice is useless when your brain works differently. I'll show you how to leverage your ADHD traits to communicate more effectively, turning challenges like rapid thinking and creativity into strengths. The results might actually surprise you. So let's get started. What if the thing you've been told is your communication problem is your actual superpower? If you've got ADHD, you know the deal. It's blurting stuff out. It's interrupting, jumping in a half sentence too soon. It can feel like a flaw, especially in structured conversations when you're supposed to wait your turn like a well-behaved third grader. But here's the thing. When you learn to manage it just enough, that impulse becomes energy, becomes momentum, becomes authenticity. Most people wish they could speak with that kind of spontaneity that comes naturally to you. The key isn't to shut it down, it's to channel it. Take Richard Branson. That guy isn't sitting around workshopping the perfect sentence. He reacts in real time, and that energy is contagious. His thoughts may be fast and raw, but they're real and people listen. So what's the difference between a train wreck interruption and magnetic energy? About 2 seconds. Seriously. Just pause. Count 1001, 1002 in your head. It's enough time to filter the chaos without losing your edge. That pause doesn't kill momentum. It gives it structure. Want to make it stick? Try tapping your leg once when you feel the urge to jump in. That gives your brain a physical cue to just chill out for a second. At first, it'll feel a little clunky, but give it 3 weeks. It becomes automatic. And the payoff? Fewer interruptions, sure, but more importantly, better communication. You'll still speak with speed and energy, but now your words will have weight. People will think you're thoughtful, strategic, and deliberate. In fact, a University of Michigan study found that ADHD folks who paused before responding were seen as 37% more competent in mock interviews. Same words, same time, just with better timing. This works because your brain is already moving faster than the conversation, and the pause is your sync point. So it's not about slowing down, it's about matching the pace with the people around you without dumbing down your thoughts. If you're worried you'll sound hesitant or unsure, don't be. The pause makes people lean in. It signals that what you're about to say matters, even if you're just riffing. Another trick is to build in microchecks. Asking questions such as, does that make sense? And am I being clear? Allow you to take a break from the content just long enough to check for understanding among the people you're talking with. Also creates a different type of pause, giving you a chance to recalibrate. Now, about that urge to jump ahead in conversations? Yeah, we're going to tackle that next. Interrupting isn't about being rude. It's about your brain doing laps around the conversation. If you've got ADHD, you're not waiting to hear the end of the sentence. You've already drafted a response, a follow up, and you possibly already started planning lunch. ADHD brains process language about 20 times faster than neurotypical ones. So while someone else is mid sentence, you're already 3 steps ahead. Unfortunately, that often shows up as jumping in before they're done, and yeah, that does tend to land badly. But here's the truth: it's not a lack of respect, it's a mismatch in pacing. So, no, you don't need to silence yourself. You just need a system that holds your place while the rest of the room catches up. Start with nonverbal signals, especially in work settings or regular group conversations. Something simple like a quick hand raise can signal, "I've got something to add," without cutting someone off. It's a small move that keeps your place mentally and shows respect for the speaker. It redirects the impulse from "speak now" to "hold tight," and that alone makes a huge difference. And it works. A 2023 study in the Journal of Attention Disorders found that adults with ADHD who used a simple signal system cut their interruptions by 62% in just 6 weeks. As a bonus, they reported less tensions in meetings and felt like their input actually landed better. In one-on-one conversations, tweak the system. You don't need a hand raise, just a physical placeholder. Try pressing your thumb and forefinger together when a thought hits. That little squeeze gives your brain a note to self without jumping the gun. Another option for less formal settings would be to use a fidget tool. I generally have something in my pocket, like a coin or a pen, just something small. Fidget tools aren't just for passing time. Research shows they cut down on impulsive blurting by 40% in conversations. Just keep it subtle. No juggling stress balls during conversations. Interrupting doesn't mean you're careless. It just means your brain works fast. But with the right structure, you can contribute fully and stay in sync with the people around you. You don't have to choose between being present and being respectful. You can absolutely be both. Next up, we're talking about another classic ADHD moment when your brain wipes mid-conversation and that brilliant point you're about to make, it's gone. So let's talk about how to stop losing your best thoughts in real time. Forget about frantically taking notes mid-conversation. That strategy collapses the moment you're actually engaged in what's happening. If you've got ADHD, you already know this. Someone gives instructions or drops something important in a meeting, and 5 seconds later, it's evaporated. It's gone, forgotten. And it's not because you weren't listening, it just didn't stick. This isn't laziness, it's a working memory thing. You see, ADHD brains don't retain verbal information the same way others do. So advice like write it down is about as useful as just pay attention. You pause to write, lose your place in the conversation, and suddenly you're stuck playing catch up again. Here's something that actually works: the 3-word anchor method. When someone's talking, grab 3 key nouns, words that capture the essence of what's being said. Not full sentences, not bullet points, just 3 anchors. If someone says, "We need the proposal by Thursday," and make sure it includes the client's updated numbers, you grab proposal, Thursday, and numbers. Repeat them in your head. That's it. This works because it forces your brain to filter, which ADHD brains are notoriously bad at doing on the fly. You can't hold everything, but 3 solid words, totally doable. And they act like bookmarks, pulling the rest of the memory back when you actually need it. Now let's take that and level it up. Attach a physical cue to each word. Tap your leg for one, tap your foot for the second, and maybe press your tongue on the roof of your mouth for the third. Is it weird? Yeah. Is it effective? Absolutely. A 2022 study showed ADHD adults using this multisensory method boosted recall from 20 to 80%. It's not magic, it's neuroscience. You're tying the verbal to the physical to make it harder to forget, and it works anywhere. In the doctor's office, try symptoms meds and allergy. On a Zoom call, how about deadline, deliverables, and client? But keep it concrete. No abstract fluff like alignment or synergy. Your brain doesn't have time to decode that nonsense. It's important to understand that timing is key here. Don't wait. The moment you hear something important, lock it in. Delay kills memory when you've got ADHD. This method doesn't replace note-taking entirely, but it does give you a way to function in real time without constantly relying on a pen or an app. The bottom line, your typical communication strategies weren't built for you, but this one is. And the more you practice it, the more second nature it becomes. Next, we need to understand why breaking the standard rules of communication might actually make you better at it. ADHD communication challenges stem from mismatched expectations, not defects. Your brain's wiring requires tailored strategies, not forced conformity. The techniques I'm talking about work because they adapt to how you process information, not how others think you should. Pick one method this week. Test the 2-second pause, or the nonverbal signals, or even the 3-word anchor in conversations. Observe which best aligns with your mental rhythm. Track changes in how others respond and how much less energy you expend compensating for unworkable norms. The thing is, most effective communicators don't master ADHD. They embrace it, they lean into it, and they direct it. Your traits, when harnessed, create engagement others can't replicate. Start with a single strategy and refine it. Remember, we are looking for progress, not perfection. That's all for today. Be sure to visit speakingwithconfidencepodcast.com to get your free ebook, The Top 21 Challenges for Public Speakers and How to Overcome Them. You can also register for the Forming for Public Speaking course. Always remember, your voice has the power to change the world. We'll talk to you next time. Take care.